Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Heroes Half Hour. I'm Hammy, this is FailCraft Casts. I hope you are well. For those of you who have just been joining us, we've just done an introduction to the Warrior. If you are looking at this on YouTube, go check out some of the other vids. We're going to get a bit more into the Warrior now by taking a look at Tyrael. As you can see from the lovely concept art from Diablo 3, Tyrael the Fallen Angel, and a wonderful example of a warrior hero in Heroes of the Storm. So in terms of taking a quick look at heroes, firstly we're going to have a real quick look at Tyrael in the try mode. We're then going to throw him into a game and show you how he works out in practice. So Tyrael is a warrior. We have already discussed warriors and said that they share a few things. They generally tend to have some kind of engage or initiate, meaning that they're very, very good for starting battles and engaging in fights. They generally tend to be melee heroes. They get up close and personal. As we spin Tyrael around a little bit here, you can see he's going to get all dizzy. Oh dear, he's got all dizzy. never ever gets old. But Tyrael can throw himself in the middle of a scrap, and he's got lots of good warrior kit. Good evening, Legion. Good evening, all of you guys live. It's great to have you with us. So what can Tyrael do? Well, he can slow and damage enemies in an area and then teleport to the area with Eldrun's Might. So not only is that a damage ability, but Tyrael can use that as an initiate to teleport in and jump in and start swinging away at people. So you can use it as a gap closer, you can use it to start putting pressure on an enemy team member, whether it's a team fight or whether you're just chasing someone down for a kill. Righteousness, you gain a temporary shield, and then with other levels and abilities you can also give shields to the rest of your team, so that's quite handy. Smite damages an area and speeds up nearby allies, so that gives a team buff, as we talked about with warrior traits or things that warriors tend to have, but you can also do area damage over sort of an arc. Tyrael's trait is Archangel's Wrath. When you die, you become invulnerable and explode. So you can have a little bit of a life after death. Angel style makes perfect sense. Heroic ability, well, you can either have Judgment, which is charging towards your target, knocking back nearby enemies, and then damaging and stunning it. A really good initiate there. Or you can go for the buff supporting warrior style role. Tyrael makes all nearby allied heroes invulnerable, lasts 3 seconds. Now that does not apply to Tyrael himself. So let's quickly jump into a try arena. I love this mode in Heroes of the Storm. Really, really good in terms of a MOBA because you can just jump in and try your hero out. So the first thing I'm going to do is spec up, and we'll have a look at Tyrael's various talents as we go. So Tyrael, you can increase your health regeneration, a very tanky talent. Path of the Warrior, maximum health every level, a common warrior talent that just makes you more tanky. More damage on your Eldrun's Might when you throw it down on the floor and then teleport in if you want. Smite damage to heroes, you can use Smite as a better smiting ability, and protection in death. Upon death you give nearby allies a shield, so that's another tanky support style option. I'm going to go, for interest's sake, into something that is more Tyrael specific. Let's go for increased smite damage to heroes, for example. I'm going to level up a bit so we can show you the next set of talents. Next, all healing effects are increased. Any regen and healing he gets. So if you've taken the previous regen effect, then people are healing you, then someone can heal you and keep you up really, really solid and nasty. Imagine playing with Lily healing you up 30% more healing. Basic attacks heal you, a common vampiric assault trait that. So here Tyrael is attacking and got a lot of health, keeps you as a tanky warrior in the fight for longer. Angelic absorption, more health regen when attacked. So you can see all of these are stacking up to make Tyrael very tanky. Smite with reduced cooldown per enemy hit, so that's more of an attacking DPS talent. Abilities usable before exploding, even in death, so you can continue being Tyrael with all of your abilities before you actually go boom. Let's go for, let's go for all healing effects increased, or health regeneration when attacked, why not? Next talent set at level 7, well, basic attacks with agility cooldowns, a common talent is Battle Momentum, Angel's Grace, Tyrael specific, movement speed when teleporting, that will help you get away quicker, it will help you engage quicker, your shield's explosion on breaking, or your shield is longer, or Searing Attacks, that's a common one, more attack damage at the cost of your mana. Let's go for Angel's Grace, as being something very Tyrael-y. Next talent, when we come to 10, we get our heroics, so I think the sanctification is a very, very interesting one. So remember that Tyrael is not invulnerable, so the entire enemy team, if you're in the middle of a team fight, will basically focus on you. If you channel out of the way of everyone, you can protect all of your enemy here, your team so that they can get out of the fight. Now I believe that the channel gets interrupted if you're attacked. We'll need to check that, so I'm going to take that. The judgment, charging and stun an enemy, that is what it sounds like. It's an initiator, so I'd quite like to look and see what sanctification does. Choosing a talent, burning rage, AoE damage around your hero, nice if you're a tank. Enemy attack speed and movement speed, a debuff, that kind of debuff tendency of warriors we saw. Cast aside, just whacking enemies out of the way, very, very useful, particularly if you want to get them away from your own team. And then increased basic attack damage. Let's go for a cast aside. And up to level 16, 2 more talents to go. Blade of Justice, just that is a DPS talent, straight up and personal. Holy Ground, teleporting makes a blocking field. That's quite an interesting Tyrael talent. Not only can you get more movement, but you can also block off your opposite, the enemy team, or indeed minions and similar. Stronger shield per ally hero, shielded. Of course, remember that your W shields you and nearby allies. Then Blood for Blood, slow and still health from your target. I'm going to go for Holy Ground because I'd like to see what that looks like. And then let's get right up to the top. And up at the top you've got Resurrecting Upon Death. That is a common top tier talent. Upon dying, revive back at your altar after 5 seconds, so you can get back into the action more quickly. Basic Dex Chaining, that's a common one, and then of course the 2 upgrades to your heroic ability. So Judgment with increased range and reduced cooldown and even longer initiate, and Sanctification with increased duration and added damage bonus. Interesting. Let's quickly just toggle minions and heroes. Let's charge in. I'll just show you some of these abilities in action. Remember, of course, that these are fully tiered abilities. So we've got Eldrin's Might. I can charge in. You can see that's done the area of damage. I can then teleport in, and you can see that that's created a blocking field. Blocks enemies from entering the area teleported to, so you can stand in the middle of that and do some damage. Nicely done. Next, our W. So it just puts a shield on us. You can see a nice yellow shield. Allies get shielded for some damage as well. And then the Angelic Absorption, if enemies attack me, then I'm granted health over time. Smite, you can see that Smite has got a cast range, and then there we go. I didn't cast that on top of Malfurion, on top of the enemy, but I had it would have damaged him. And then finally Sanctification. I want to see if this is actually can be interrupted. So I'm just going to kill all of these minions first. And then I'm going to channel Sanctification. It's only within this area as well. There we go. So, I'll lay down a bit of smitage. Let's kill Arthas, which we always do. Poor Arthas. Arthas is a victim for everyone. Many times. Arthas might even become like Teemo. The amount of times that Arthas will perish. So there we go, that is our quick look at Tyrael, and next up let us jump into a game and see what he looks like. So we've had a quick look at all of Tyrael's abilities, now let's show you him in a battle format. So what is Tyrael good at? Well, we've seen that Tyrael can really mix it up. He can throw himself in the middle, he can displace enemies with various abilities, he can heal his health back very, very quickly, which is also very, very useful too, so that lots of different ways you can put loads of pressure on. Very, very handy hero, and a good example of a warrior. But what can Tyrael uniquely do that other warriors can't? Well, of course he can heal up, of course he has a big health pool, but Tyrael's general talents involve in some of the ways that he can actually disrupt the enemy team. Using your Q, meaning that you can teleport in and create a displacing shield. You can effectively create barriers between the enemy team and your team as well, very much like Tastar's ability. You can really do some good blocking there. So that's one thing that Tyrael can do. The other thing that he can do is, of course, his ultimate, being able to literally just make all of your team invulnerable is very powerful, but only if you can use it in the right context and use it well. We're going to be jumping into Blackheart Bay, so as well as worrying about Tyrael and how we aid our team, we're also going to be trying to collect doubloons and bombard our enemies. You might be able to jump in, and you might be able to, I'm just double checking that everything's okay. Cool, so we are going to be jumping in on Blackheart's Bay, and on Blackheart's Bay, as well as trying to push the lanes and making things happen for our team, we're also going to be trying to, of course, get all of that booty, with the pirate map and get something going. So how are we going to build Tyrael? I'm going to try and build Tyrael so that we can try and show off at the moment what's kind of unique about him rather than other tanks. So Path of the Warrior will make our Tyrael very tanky and very, very useful. More damage for Eldrin's Might is really an attacking ability. I'm going to build tanky, increase smite damage and giving nearby allies a shield. So I'm going to go Path of the Warrior to start with. The reason I'm going for that is because I want to have a very tanky Tyrael. We'll try and build Tyrael as we go through this game with lots of Tyrael specific abilities rather than the stuff that you can and will see on other warriors as well. Okie dokie. Right, we've got 2 going bottom. I need to be paired really with someone who's a bit of a glass cannon. I could go well with Tassadar. Oh, they are all in there. So we've got a little bit of a up and downing going on at the moment. There's an initiate. We could be playing a pre-made here. This could be quite interesting. Oh, I've taken a lot of damage very quickly. I'm going to have to run. Nausea's got split from our team. He's chased us down, but I'm not going to be able to rescue him. And already it is never too soon to be going behind. I think that these guys must be a pre-made. That might be a really, really, really... might be a very, very, very... organised team from what we saw there. Some good pressure coming in. The shield, see if we can... Oh, we're just not going to be able to take out that hero either. Ooh, lots of damage put down. Oh, already, look at that organisation. I believe that we've already got a bombardment. Oh no. It just means that the pirate is open for business. So this is pretty much the worst start that we could have had. I think that this is a pre-made. The reason for that is because if we have a look at these guys, I'm just going to grab a screenshot. Why do I think they were pre-made? Well, they went in a very coordinated fashion to go and get the top viewpoint. They've already got 5 bounty. They've already got enough to trigger the bounty as well. So while they were jumping in and killing us and disrupting us up here, they've already sent people to go and get the bounty and hand it in. So we're going to have within 2 minutes their first artillery barrage. And you can see that very small indecision as to whether we were all going to go for the top viewpoint or not cost us because we died very, very fast. So what can I do as Tyrael? Well, I can try and put some damage on, but the best thing to do when you get behind is to try and... Ooh, that's not good. Right, run, run, run. Is to try and farm minions. We need to farm up. I need to make sure I don't get a bullet in my face while I'm tarping. Right, what else do I need? Well, I'm going to need lots of heals and health regen, I think. There's a Gara coming in and sieging there as well. Oh, Zagara is going crazy. And already, it's never too early to go behind, and we are behind too early. There we go, a very nice play there. My explosion not really doing too much damage. Yet again, whenever I play as a warrior in one of my games, we have a pretty poor example. I do apologise. So ideally, in an ideal world, I would be tanking up. Let's have a look at the enemy team's composition. Why are they doing so well? Well, they've got DPS in Valor. They've got a specialist in Tychus. I think he's a specialist. A nice warrior in Felstad, who's doing a bit of tanking for them. Sonya, who's also tanking up as well. And then Zagara is a specialist backing up. So they've got obscene amounts of damage, and they've got some very, very solid people there too. Okie dokie, well, I'm respawned. Let's see if we can get this game back. We're already 2 levels down, and we've already got the middle of our base dead, but never say never. Firstly, let's see if we can try and pick this guy off at the top. Movement speed while teleporting is probably going to be very useful indeed. You can see me teleport in like that. You can then see me try and smite away, but Hidden Troll is too nimble, too fast. He's running away. He's probably going to be running. If he's a good player, he'll be running to try and catch up with his team. Oh, he's managed to get away to find another day. Now I'm going to teleport in and finish him off. Oh, there you go. That was a very vain gesture, vainglorious. and I may perish for it. Little kill ninja there, so you can see that teleporting in, Tyrael can do a little bit of finishing ability, but as a warrior I really shouldn't be doing that so much. I should be trying to tank it up for my team. However, I'm just struggling with my team a little bit in terms of us not having loads of damage. What have we got? Well, we've got Zeratul, so we've got some good damage there. We've got 2 tanks in the forms of me and Arthas, DPS in Valor, and a specialist in the form of Zagara. So really, why we're losing here, to be honest, is coordination. The enemy team are teaming up and doing a really good job of teaming together and doing things well. Note that they are moving for the bounty as well. They're getting the gold at every single opportunity they can, and getting those objectives is really key. So we can see probably the enemy team, if they are playing it similar to they did first, will go for the objectives. I'm going to start trying to see if I can get some doubloons for Team FailCraft, see what we can do. Meanwhile, let's grab a talent. I'm going to charge and stun an enemy. I'm going to need that to get away if nothing else. Okay, so I've managed to charge myself up to 6 doubloons, but I need to see if I can hand these in. So I've just seen someone moving behind me. That enemy player, if they're worth their salt, is going to be following me up and trying to stop me from handing these doubloons. Now when you try and hand in doubloons as I am now, there's a channel, and you need to make sure that, there you go, I was not going to be able to get away with that. Oh, okay, there's 2 of them in one of me. I'm going to have to shield up. You can see Tyrael shield is useful. I'm probably going to have to ulti, but I can only ulti to a structure or a person, but you can see that the health regen is helping me. Due to a level up as well, still struggling, probably just going to be able to get away, and then finally Tyrael's teleport will finally get me the last distance. So a good run, but thankfully my team came to my aid. We saw them swinging on in behind to really clean up after me. Now we've got a 3v2, if we can take this to our advantage. If only I can get there in time. I should have mounted up. Got a Valor just jumping around. I think one of our team has gone down. Syndragosa has gone in, but Arthur, Sonya going to get away, not against me if I'm mounted up. Zeratul is also flying in, so enemy has been slain. Can we take this to our advantage? Well, this is time for a hand in. We can get our own bombardment going, which is good, and with those 6 and 4 we're actually going to get an instant hand in, which is excellent. So we get first bombardment for Team FailCraft. Hooray. Now, even though we've gone behind in kills, we are not down yet. However, you can see that Zagara has just been left alone in the top lane, which is sieging away to our heart's content. I'm going to go ahead up the top and see if we can sort out Zagara. So you can see we've managed to sort of you know, do a little bit of pushing now on the front lane, which is good. I've actually just rode straight past Zagara, which is a little bit silly. Let's get stuck in. Without running into the enemy base, which would be a little bit silly. We can see if we can do much more with Tyrael. I'm going to talent up after this fight. I'm really hoping that our Arthas is actually going to get out of this fight here. No, he's sacrificed himself on the altar of nothing. The entire enemy team is coming in, so that is where I'm just going to have to charge away. At least I managed to get back into our base to fight another day, but we now have 3 in the top lane. So, time to talent up. What we're going to take next, I'm going with displacing enemies and pushing them away, because we're a bit on the back foot in this game. I feel as I'm going to need that defensive ability. Okay. I'm just jumping in, seeing if we can take out Zagara, but Tychus in the meantime is stacking up a lot of damage. I'm going to have to try and run away. Ooh, just one more shot and I'm down. Tychus has managed to take me out. I'm just going to see if I can blow up, but blowing up in my death does not do a huge amount of damage. So in the meantime we can see that the enemy team have come together excellently and are pushing top lane. Just quick jump in, we can see there's been quite a bit of death in general on our team. 14-2 by those two by 8 minutes. This could be a very quickly finished game. This is either a very skilled or a very knowledgeable sort of random group of players, or they are pre-made. So they're not necessarily all playing together on voice comms, but they're certainly very coordinated and working very well together as a team. Okay, I'm back up. So let's see what we can do. First thing I'm going to do is just clear out this top lane before moving on anywhere else. And Zagara comes back. Now in our Zagara Hero Spotlight, which is going to be going live soon, we've said do not leave Zagara alive for too long and too late. We can see that not only has Zagara picked up a bunch of mercenaries to help her, and these are going to be quite hard for me to take down. Remember, I built tanky, and you can see her throwing all of her banelings in terms of a baneling barrage as well. I am just not doing enough damage to these mercenaries, and knights, remember, are one of the hardest mercenary types to be able to slow them down. So while the mercenaries take the front lane and keep my attention, Zagara is just throwing banelings in en masse. Absolutely throwing everything at these minions, and you can see, even though I'm staying healed up, how slow it is taking me to take the minions out. Now that the main minions are actually down, Zagara has been taken out finally. So in the meantime, there's just another siege going on. The enemy team doing a really good job of taking objectives. So if you've learned anything from our little voyage into Hero of the Storm so far, balance supporting your team with laning with objectives. Yeah, again, you can see we've got levels behind. Now, levels behind are recoverable, but the main challenge with them is that you then need to start farming NPCs, and in the meantime that gives your opponent time to take objectives. I'm going to stop pushing forward, because in that time we have actually lost Zeratul. Nissoff Lights, he is doing a very brave and bold job, but it's not going to help us in terms of getting the enemy out of the way, I think. That's way too aggressive of me. I'm now going to pay for that, probably with my life. I can shield, but I'm just too slow. I don't think we're focusing on the right target size. Need to team up. Okay, next talent time. Blocking field might be handy with stronger heal per allied hero shielded. I'd like to slow and steal health on target or increased attack damage. Well, I think increased attack damage is probably the last of my concerns at this point in time. I'm probably going to go for, let's go for a stronger shield. I'll add the blocking field. That will help me run away. Okie dokie, 6 seconds to go. Carlitos seems to be AFK in the base. Oopsie daisy. Right, back up, let's see what we can do. Entire enemy front line is still intact, so it's going to be hard for us to get back. We're 3 levels behind. An excellent piece of play by the enemy team on this situation. Hidden Troll decides to die so that he can advance the cause of his team. That Valor was not going to be going anywhere fast. Oh, whoa, we've got minions just cruising into the top of our base. A little etiquette piece: if you're not going to be able to finish a game of Heroes of the Storm, any kind of MOBA, try not to start it. If you have to go AFK, obviously life gets in the way, but it really ruins the game for everyone else. And just the reason for that is because either you've got a player not playing, so it's 4v5 like we are now, or you'll get a computer AI player playing instead, and if so, that kind of puts the team of the computer player on at a bit of a disadvantage. We've got a couple of doubloons here. May as well go and try and hand those in. 6 out of 16 or 0 out of 12. I'm going to hand in 3. So remember, when you're handing in doubloons, it is a channeled spell. And during that channeled spell, if anyone interrupts you as with any other Heroes of the Storm objective, it will get cancelled. Oh, I've added 3 doubloons to the cause. Doing my piece. In the meantime, we've got a couple of pirate siege ogres laying waste to our base in the bottom corner. And oh, they've got an ogre up, so the boss mercenary up there is a kind of siege ogre, I do believe. So when we clean this up, I'm going to call for some defence on the top lane and make my way up there. You can see that Zagara Curso Hyde is also there, sieging our base away, and there go the Hard Knights, and we should see there is the big ogre. So if our enemy team are good at pushing that top lane, they should be in for a victory pretty soon. All they need to do is 5-man in. Here comes the 5-man. I'm going to keep an eye on Zagara at the back. I'm going to try and get the odds in our favour. Oh no, I'm just not going to catch Zagara. and I think that could be a good game. As the enemy team, 4 men besiege our base. Is GG. So that is our game for now. We have overrun, so it is going to have to be a quick sign off. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. What we've done in that episode is just have a bit of a look at Tyrael, the warrior hero. We've taken a little bit of a look in try mode and play mode, as we always do, as to what kind of abilities that Tyrael has. We then also jumped in and had a look at Tyrael's abilities in a game. So we've discussed what makes him unique, some of his space arranging abilities, the fact that he can, create no enemy zones, segregate shields away, the fact that he's got a few different ways of closing gaps and initiating, and the fact that he can be built quite tankily. He can be built as a very, very big tank and initiator, or he can be built as a bit more of a damaging support kind of class, using his invulnerability, heroic ability, and similar to buff his team. He can also throw out a lot of shields and be played as more of a support warrior rather than a big tanky and initiating warrior. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. If you have just joined us, it's great to have you with us, but we're just finishing up this episode. But where can you find us? Well, youtube.com/FailCraft Casts. You can see all of our Hero of the Storm so far. If you're here live, hit the subscribe button, or join us at twitch.tv/FailCraft Cast. We're trying to do Hearthstone or Heroes of the Storm 5 nights a week or 5 days a week. We'll always tweet half an hour to an hour before the stream goes live. Where else can you find us? FailCraft.org is the website. Hit FailCraft.org up and you can find the videos, you can find links, new player resources, and all other kinds of things. So do have a look there. We also you can find things there that don't live quite so well on a video, so different new player links, resources, blog articles and things like that. So really enjoying the alpha so far. Thanks for sticking with us, and very much hope to see you at some time soon. We'll jump in the chat in a second, take a few questions. Thank you so much for tuning in, and hope to hear you soon. Last things last.